A man's wife wants to expand her sexual horizons outside of the relationship. Will counseling save this, or should they just move towards divorce? I'm Paul, apexmindset.net to book a consult. Like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the Apex rifle, custom rifle. It's on the website and also link in the description. And let's get into the video. So I'll read this to you. Came across it in another forum and there was a lot of discussion, so I thought I would comment. I'm going to paraphrase what was said, so I don't know. I'm not blowing out anybody's identity here on the internet. So, guy writes, my wife has expressed to me she wants to go partying and expand her sexual horizons. I've given up and I've made a promise to her over 10 years ago to be only hers till death do us part. I gave her the option of leaving me and our 8-year-old to pursue this, but told her I won't condone sleeping around, so it's divorce or us going to counseling. She has left and says she needs time to think about it. I love her very much and I want her to be happy, but the stress level is through the roof, and with a full-time job and the prospect of being single and taking care of all the responsibilities we share is very stressful. Any advice or words of wisdom would be appreciated. So maybe this will find the gentleman who wrote this in the forum that he wrote it in. I was exposed to it in a different forum, and I'm just going to keep it all private, but we can just talk about it in general. So first thing I want to address is the motivations for wanting to have other sexual experiences outside of the relationship. And as men, you need to understand that a woman's motivation is not the same as yours. All right. Men, on an instinctual level, men have a desire to spread seed. So men do desire to have sex with multiple women, and men are actually capable of being with women outside of the relationship and still wanting his wife or his number one girl more than those other women. Okay. So I'm not saying, I'm not justifying male cheating. I'm just telling you what the wiring system is. All right. So a man could go for a woman that is half as attractive as the person he's with and still have, enjoy that sexual encounter and want that sexual encounter because it's variety, and then return and really want his wife more than that girl, and wouldn't, and have more genuine burning desire even for his wife than sleeping with somebody of lower sexual market value, and at least in his eyes, or lower attractiveness to him. All right. Women are not capable of doing that in the same way that men are. It's not where their instincts lie. Women certainly can sleep around, but when a woman decides to sleep around, we can boil it down to a couple of reasons. Now, understand, of course, individuals are individuals, and you're going to have a variance with individuals. But generally speaking, a woman sleeps with a guy outside of a relationship because she thinks that guy has something to offer sexually that the current guy she's sleeping with can't supply her with. Okay. She's probably experienced a better sexual partner in her past, and therefore she thinks that there are other better sexual partners out there. And she thinks that this person that she wants to sleep with outside of the relationship is going to give her a better sexual experience in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Maybe it's something different, something new, variety for her. It could also indicate a lack of an ability to pair bond and a need for executing a polyamorous drive versus a more committed one. Women do get more of the oxytocin and bonding chemicals through sex than men do, because a woman is designed to want to sleep with the top value male that she can get and keep, and then wants to stay with that guy for the purpose of provisioning for those children. All right, so that's the instinctual drive. So when a woman cheats, it's because she's decided at some point that the man that she is with is not as good as the guy she's going to cheat with. And her desires and her emotions will shift away from the guy that she is currently with, let's say the husband. Okay. So those emotions and desires move away from the husband when another person is in the picture. All right. She no longer has, if she may have not had genuine burning desire to begin with. Most likely it was a transactional relationship to begin with. But if she had genuine burning desire for that guy, it is no longer there once she transfers that focus to another dude. It does not work the same way for men. Like I said, men can have sexual variety and still desire their wife at home more than anybody else. Okay. Second thing, reason a woman might cheat is to revenge cheat or cuck the guy that she is with. In other words, he's made her upset or angry, or she's, got some sort of hang up or thinks that this guy is going to discard her, or maybe he cheated on her, whatever. So she goes out and she sleeps with another guy. And that's when she sometimes will sleep with a guy of lesser genetic value, just even if she never shares it with the guy that let's say the husband, the guy that she's with, even if she never shares that information, knowing in her head that she did it gives her a sense of power over him. And so that's cucking. Okay. It's actually to get one over on him and to know that she had power over him, to upset him, to make him angry. Because so she feels like she can't keep that alpha guy, the better sexual option, and that angers her for whatever reason. It could be from his disloyalty, or it could be from her own insecurities, and then she cheats that way. So those are generally the two ways that a woman cheats, but in either sense, her desires are pointing away from the relationship. I'm not saying a guy should cheat if he's got a commitment or a monogamous commitment, but I'm saying that guys are capable of it differently. Now, why do you need to understand this? You need to understand this because it's different if she is choosing to have sex with someone else than if you were to do it. So your thought as a man would be, well, yeah, she's choosing to have sex with someone else, but if we go to counseling and we work on it, the things will be okay because we've worked through it. Well, there's a major hurdle you have to overcome, which is the fact that she probably thought that the guy was better than you that she was cheating with. And if she thinks that another man is better than you and you're not her best, then she will not be her best in the relationship with you. You'll be left with the leftovers of who she was for someone else. You will be in a subpar relationship. She will not have the emotions that she needs to have in order to be in your frame and to complement your life and to be a good partner. Okay. And so she won't have the attachment to you that she needs to have in order to have a healthy relationship with you and a good relationship with you. If she thinks somebody else was better, the moment she makes the decision to sleep with another person, she probably thinks that other person's better. That's in the worst case. Best case scenario is she's just an incredibly vindictive person who wanted to spite you by sleeping with someone else. So it was very personal, very spiteful. All right. Whereas you're thinking, well, maybe she just needed sexual variety because you're a guy and you sometimes want sexual variety. All right. Your instinctual drive is to want that. Even if you've made a commitment, you could see yourself sleeping with someone else in another scenario and being just fine coming home. But that is not her way of processing these things, or not her instinctual drive. That's not how it works for women. And so this is why if she is wanting to experience, what was the words she used? Expand her sexual horizons. Again, love the word salad. She wants to expand her sexual horizons. Okay. Oh, meaning bang other people, do other things, get all of her dark wishes in the bedroom done outside of the relationship, means done without you. We're not talking about experiment with you in the bedroom. We're not talking about even do savage and crazy things and, kinks and whatever with you. We're talking about going outside and partying, as he mentioned, and doing it outside of the relationship. What that means is she does not think that you're sexually good enough for her to experience those things with her. So once she makes that decision, you got to ask yourself, what kind of relationship are you going to have? It's only going to be a subpar relationship where she does not show up as her best self for you. And she's done it for other guys and will do it for other men, but not for you. Okay. And that will take away time, energy, and resources away from your children and away from the household. All right. So now you have this liability running around, expanding her sexual horizons outside and spending resources, time, energy away from you, the children, and everything else. And you're paying for it. And you're paying for it and supporting it. Okay. So you're worried about having to do this stuff on your own. But the reality is you have someone sucking resources away from you to go do these things. Okay. And to participate in that. So, she's not contributing she's as much as you think that she is. And even if she was, better to have your dignity and respect and be alone than to be with somebody who isn't willing to do that. So now let's ask ourselves about counseling. Well, you got to ask yourself, she wants to do this. What she's basically telling you at that point is you are not her sexual best. So when she tells you that, what you say is, I'm disappointed it turned out that way. That certainly wasn't my intent getting in the relationship. We'll work on the divorce. And you work on separating your assets, protecting yourself, protecting your children, getting out of it. Now, it's up to her. She may decide before making that decision, you know what? I don't really want to do this. Maybe I work on the relationship. So then you have to ask yourself, well, she doesn't think I'm her sexual best. Can she think that way? Can I be that better partner for her and her be a better partner for me? Maybe this becomes a catalyst for you guys to up your sex game together and not have to blow the marriage apart. Okay. That is an option. However, she has to decide, though, to want to work on it with you, not work on it with other D's out in the marketplace. Okay. She has to decide that you're sexually good enough to try to go next level with you. So maybe you haven't been her sexual best lately or ever, but that you become that in the end of it. And maybe there's that potential. But she has to make the decision, when you make the decision to leave, that she doesn't want that and she wants to work it out. If that's the case, maybe counseling can be helpful, more so exploring and pursuing things sexually. You may need to improve your sexual game in the bedroom. She may need to start opening up more about what her sexual needs are and maybe improve her game as well. And now you guys start working on each other in the sexual parts of the relationship. That could be a healthy thing. That would be a way for this to resolve itself. And with the right counselor or coach or consultant or professional or therapist or whatever that knows what they're doing, you might actually be able to recover from this. There's a lot you can recover from in a relationship. I know some people who watch me are very nihilistic, and that's the way that you're going to think is worst case scenario. I'm painting for you a different scenario, okay? Because these things do work out sometimes when it gets pushed to that brink. But it only happens if she makes the choice, though, to work it out with you. And you have to make that choice as well. All you really have to do is decide. You can kind of come back from some pretty dark places if both of you decide to do that and then see if you're capable. Now, she might not be capable and you might not want it, or she might decide she doesn't want it. And if that's the case, okay, then you know. But she has to decide. But I'm going to tell you that decision doesn't happen after she goes out in the marketplace, experiences a bunch of sexual stuff and gets her thrills, and then comes back from her little rumspringer, mid-marriage rumspringer and says, okay, cool, I'm ready to work on us now. That's not how it works. You don't get the leftovers. You don't take back leftovers. So if she isn't going to insist on doing that instead of working it out with you instead and seeing if you can explore the sexual horizons together, then the answer is no, it will never work. Okay? Because you will never know. She will lie to you. She will never know if you were ever her sexual best to begin with. And if the person that you're getting in the relationship is really the best version of her. Listen, relationships are difficult. If they were easy, everyone could do them and make them work and be successful. Not everybody will last forever into the old age. That's just a fact of the matter. But you both have to then be able to put maximum effort into the relationship and into making it work, or else it's just not. And if she's unwilling to do that, or if you're unwilling to do that for that matter, it will not work. And again, that doesn't mean after deciding to go sow wild oats and then come back. Okay. This has already presented itself. It would be a topic of another video if we talk about what if she already cheated or what if some of these things happen. Listen, the answer always is for when it comes to these sorts of things, are you her best option or can you be her best option? That's always the answer. Okay. Would she see you as that? And is it worth it to you to be in a relationship? In other words, does she complement your life? Is she the person you actually want to be with? Or do you just have an unhealthy attachment to this person? Or you just don't have any other options, right? But if you have other options with women, you could go out and get somebody else. You could be happy alone. Your attachment's not unhealthy, but you choose her. No matter how much you screwed up or her screwed up, there's a lot that can happen. If she's screwed up, and we're even saying things like cheated, whatever may be, it is possible. But the question is, though, can she see you as her sexual best? The problem is when a woman actually takes another D, you'll never know usually. Usually. There are circumstances. I mean, I've always seen those one-offs, but generally speaking, she's making that choice. The probability or possibility, I will say, is very slim that she'll ever see you as that best option for her. In which case, is the juice worth the squeeze to stick around? Probably not. But this guy, it's unfortunate. He's coming from a place of neediness and scarcity. And really, he needs to come from a place of understanding that when she has made this comment to him, she's already made her choice, which is to sleep with other men. There's a strong possibility she's already doing that and decided to come to you after the fact. There's a strong possibility, even stronger possibility, that when she went off to think about it, her idea of thinking about it is being on other dudes. Because women love to give themselves permission for things that really that are really breaking standards and values. But then, she can say, well, I said I was going to do this. I talked to him about it or whatever first or whatever. And then she justifies her behavior, even though of course it's not permitted. Right. And so she may be out. If she had already expressed this, she may be out doing it already. She probably already had a guy or maybe situations in mind in which she was going to do this. And it's not like she decided out of nowhere to expand her sexual horizons. She probably had another dude, at least one dude, maybe more, in mind that she wanted to expand those horizons with before making that decision. And if she is off on her own and you guys aren't talking or whatever, then she's probably exploring those options at that point. And that's at least what you need to assume. And then you need to work on the breakup. Now, if she's really by herself and she's not working on that and on other dudes and she wants to work it on it with you, well, she will prove it. She'll prove it by coming back to you, wanting to work on you and not wanting to be with anybody else, not doing things with other people that would indicate she's sleeping with somebody on the side. You'll be able to tell all the signs. All right. And then she'll be wanting to explore things and build up your guys' sex life. She'll be wanting to have those sexual horizons expanded with you. And if she was really by herself during that period, it's up to her to prove that to you. And she will, based on her actions for the most part. And so you're at a crossroads. But the point is, when these questions all come up, the answer is always this. To ask yourself, first of all, do I even want it? Because you may find that you don't even want it. You're just wrapped up in a marriage or wrapped up in an unhealthy attachment. And you could actually do better than deal with this bullshit. So that's the first thing. I've done a video previously on evaluating the relationship. Are you better today? And is your lifestyle better today than it was before the relationship or in the beginning of the relationship? That's a good way to evaluate that. So watch that video because it's good. But you want to evaluate where you're at. If you're worse off and your lifestyle is worse off and she's looking to explore sexual horizons, you got to ask yourself, is this even worth it? But let's say you look at it, some other of your kids, you got emotional attachments, hopefully not unhealthy ones, and your lifestyle is better, and she has been better for you, and you become better at the end of it. Okay, maybe then the juice is worth the squeeze. Well, the point is, though, she has to decide, and you have to ask yourself, is she going to be able to see you at the end of all of this? Is she going to be able to see you as her sexual best option, the best she's ever had and the best she's ever going to have? Because if the answer is no, she will not show up as her best. She doesn't see you as her best. She will not show up as her best. And then you're getting the leftovers, and now you have the recipe for a relationship that will fail. Failure because of a breakup or divorce or being zeroed out, or simply worse than that, a failure of being saddled with someone who just doesn't like you that much for the rest of your life. You don't want either of those scenarios. So send this to your friends. If this has happened to somebody or anything remotely close has happened to somebody you know, send this video to them, and maybe that'll help them proceed and make a choice that is going to be right for them.